everyone, welcome to Quilt Mania part 4 of the mystery block of the month for 2014. Just firstly, Flick and Fletch are waiting here because they want to say hello to their new Facebook friend in Gloucestershire, Mary. So Mary, a very big hi from Flick and Fletch. Now, down to business. We're actually making a pieced border this time, so it's a bit more simple. After all the work that you had in part 3, we've got a little quick one for you. We are using fabrics from previous parts. We've got the green and the red print from Judy Rothermell's 25th anniversary range, which appeared here. We have our original background fabric, our new background fabric which we used last time, our little motif print, and then the purple, blue, tan, a grey blue, a pink and another blue, all from part 2. And then we're introducing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new fabrics. This one is from Paula Barnes Summit Rose. The next 3 are from Judy Rothermell's dressing gown prints. And then we have the last 3, these 2 are Judy's 25th anniversary, and the last one is from Paula Barnes Summit Rose. Now, this is actually a 3-inch, if we look at sort of one unit, like this section here. It is a 3-inch square consisting of 4 triangles. Now, if you're doing it by hand, you can use the templates that are in Quilt Mania, or if you want to do it by machine, you actually cut a 4 1/4 inch square, so that means it ends up 3 inches finished along this long side of the triangle here. Now I have laid up a dark and a light, right sides together, and the same here too, another dark and another light, and that makes up one set. That's actually this unit here. So now I'm going to cut it twice diagonally, making sure I've got a proper 45-degree angle. And do a second cut, just make sure they're sitting together properly. Like so. And then I've actually got sets here just ready to stitch, so this will go to that, and then just got to make sure that's the right way. This one here, and that one there. So now I'll stitch these together that we can actually get a unit together. You've just got to watch though when you've stitched this one that the second one doesn't end up, that you have the 2 darks together, so make sure you have it the correct way. This way and that way. Right, now I have stitched those 2 sets together to give us a dark and a light and a dark. All I have to do now is just flip those over, match those seams up at that middle point right here so that I get a nice neat match on the corner, and then making sure I have a very exact 1/4 inch seam allowance on my machine, I machine across here to actually complete the block. Also too, after the block's complete, I do actually trim all these little, just with a pair of sharp scissors, trim these points off that we actually have a nice square block to work with. Now there's 4 different sets of colours, and they are photographed in the magazine, so you can check on that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That sequence is then repeated 3 times on each side. So here's our first 4, our second 4, and our last 4. So it actually means that you need 12 squares of each set of colours to complete all the borders that go around part 3. Now on the corner, also too, once you've actually made all the blocks, you just literally join them together like you're joining squares together, making sure that we've got dark, dark, light, light, and then the second one you do a turn so that in the second one the dark appears next to the light, and you just keep flipping them down to create that colour effect down the length of the border. Now on the corners we're repeating what appeared in part 2 on the corner down here, and I did them the same way that we did for part 2, that I actually appliqued the 4 little hexagon flowers to a larger piece of fabric, which if I flip over you can see that on the back I have drawn, here's my finished line, my stitching line here, and the line in between is my cutting line. I also too just put a cross in the middle of each square that I knew where the centre was, and so I could actually match the centre of that little 1/2 inch square in the middle with the centre of the block, knowing that they were centred. Now all I have to do is cut them apart. Mary, please note that I just covered my blade up, and there's, whoops, need a new blade. There's these, so to 2 of these strips I actually stitch one of these each end, like so, and then the same to a second one on the other side, and I'm now just going to go and stitch the borders on and actually show you the completed part 4 onto what you've done so far. Here we are with the, I've just stitched the borders on, so this is what it looks like with part 4 added on, like so. Okay. Now all you have to do is to remember to take the papers out of the hexagons on the corner, and so that's the same as we did for part 2. We just split the back and then just flip the papers out with our finger or with a pair of tweezers. Now, to remember, this is part 4, so you are now well over halfway. So as we say here in Australia, we're over the hump. So we've just got 5 and 6 to go, with a bit of a surprise ending with number 6. So now from myself and from Fletchy, Flick's given up, but Fletchy's would also like to say good night to Mary, his friend in Gloucestershire, and to Mary's mum Sue. Bye.